ever stop to think how your weather app actually knows the forecast? Or how you can instantly log into some brand new website with your Google account? Well, the answer is a piece of technology you're using literally every single day, probably without even knowing it. It's called an API, and it's basically the invisible glue that holds our entire digital world together.
Yep, that's right. Every single time you check the weather, look up directions on Google Maps, or buy something using PayPal, you are using an API. They're the hidden engine making so many of the apps we just can't live without actually work.
Okay, so the full name is Application Programming Interface. I know, that sounds super technical and complicated, but the actual idea behind it, it's surprisingly simple. Just think of an API as a kind of messenger, a go-between, that lets two totally separate programs talk to each other. In fact, the absolute best way to get this isn't with a bunch of code, but with something we all get: ordering food at a restaurant. In that world, the waiter is kind of the most important person, right? Well, in the digital world, the API is the waiter. So let's break this down and see exactly how this analogy plays out. Okay, so picture this. You're sitting in a restaurant, you've got the menu, you know what you want to eat, but you can't just storm into the kitchen and start cooking. I mean, that would be total chaos. No. Instead, you tell the waiter what you want. That waiter, our API, takes your very specific request to the kitchen, which is the system that does all the heavy lifting. A little while later, the waiter brings the finished dish right back to you. You get exactly what you asked for, and you never had to know a thing about the recipe. And here's how perfectly that lines up with technology. You, on your phone, using an app, you're the customer. The waiter is the API, carrying your message. And the kitchen? That's the huge, powerful server or database where all the information or the ingredients are stored. The API is that vital, invisible link that connects you to what you want. All right, let's take that same idea and apply it to an app you probably have on your phone right now. So when you open your weather app and type in London, you're making a request. You're ordering from the menu. Now, the app on your phone doesn't actually know the weather. It uses a weather services API, the waiter, to send your request off to this massive weather database. That's the kitchen. The database finds the right data for London, hands it back to the API, which then brings it right back to your screen, all nicely formatted. And this all happens in, a split second? Amazing. But it's not just about getting the weather forecast. APIs are quietly running the show behind the scenes on stuff you use constantly. Let's look at a few more examples. Think about when you're shopping online and you click Pay with PayPal. The website you're buying from never actually touches your credit card info. Instead, it uses an API to send a secure message to PayPal's system. The API is like a trusted messenger that just confirms the payment without ever showing your sensitive financial data to the store. It's what makes online shopping both convenient and secure. Or what about this one? The Login with Google button. You probably click that all the time, right? Well, that's another API hard at work. When you click it, the website uses an API to ask Google, hey, is this person legit? Google's system checks and says, yep, they're good, and the API relays that message back. Just like that, you're logged in, no need to remember another password. Travel booking sites are a fantastic example of just how powerful APIs can be. I mean, how can one website show you flight prices from dozens of different airlines all at the same time? Simple. It uses each airline's API to send out a whole bunch of requests and then pulls all that data together into one easy-to-read list for you. So you see, all of these connections are way more than just convenient. They've actually become this incredible engine for innovation, letting developers create new things way faster and smarter than ever before. And this right here is why APIs are such a game changer. Just imagine if every time a developer wanted to build a new app, they had to first build their own mapping service, their own payment system, their own messaging platform. It'd be impossible. APIs let them just plug into these amazing, powerful services that already exist. A ride-sharing app is the perfect example. The creators didn't build their own global mapping system. They plugged into the Google Maps API. They didn't create a brand new payment network. They used an API from a service like Stripe. They basically took all these powerful, pre-made API building blocks and built their own unique business on top of them. Now, living in a world built on all these connections is incredibly powerful for sure, but it's not perfect. Relying on so many different outside services, well, that introduces some new challenges we have to think about. For anyone building software today, this creates a few big puzzles to solve. First, security. You have to lock down that API doorway so only the right people get in. Then you have to think about scale.
You can't just let your app send a million requests a second and overwhelm the kitchen, so you need limits. And finally, dependency. What do you do if that map API your whole app depends on suddenly goes offline?
But even with those challenges, the main takeaway is crystal clear. APIs are these silent, absolutely essential connectors of our time. They are that invisible glue that holds together the millions of apps and services we use, creating this seamless digital world we now just expect. From our AI assistants talking to our work calendars, to our smart homes talking to our cars, these connections are only getting smarter and deeper. It really makes you wonder, as this invisible glue gets even stronger, what amazing new things will APIs make possible for us tomorrow?